Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls. Now today we're going to be tackling the wonderful Blighttown level. But before we get into that, I just want to show off a little of the work I did in between playing this time and last time. I did a little bit of grinding to level up, feeling that my stuff was just a little underpowered. So you'll see that my straight sword is now at +3. It hadn't been upgraded at all. And I repaired it because it was broken. In addition to that, I actually upgraded our armor set to +1 each. Not a huge improvement, but just kind of a flat bonus to all of our defenses. And of course, I actually spent a little bit of time gaining a few levels. Actually gained about 15 levels. This was between the souls I got from killing Gaping Dragon, along with a couple co-op kills. This helped me really beef up my strength and endurance and vitality, and just, you know, basically getting myself up there to where I want to be for the next area of the game. Now, in addition to that, I actually went and picked up another spell, Force. This is pretty cool. It basically creates an AoE explosion around you, knocking things back. And I had no idea that it destroyed boxes like that. So let's have some fun. Yeah. Anyway, I've never really messed around with this spell, obviously, but I thought it'd be fun to try and use against some enemies, knock them off cliffs and stuff. Because hey, that sounds pretty awesome. So then, all that said, it's time to adventure into certainly one of my least favorite levels in the game, Blighttown. Blighttown is a cesspool of poison and disease laying at the bottom of a gigantic descent down rickety stairwells and moving bridges, covered in horrible monsters and barbarians and other awful stuff. So, you know what? I don't want to do it. So, let's go talk to Laurentis. We helped him out from the depths, and now he's joined us at Firelink Shrine.
Well, I see you made it out. Yeah, I made it out safely too. I have my pyromancy of the Great Swamp, so I can use my manage with a bit of care. Oh yeah, by the way, I can share my spells with you. I think you have a knack for it. All you need are the materials. I'll be pleased to help you. Unless you find your magic's unsavory. Yeah, wonderful. I'm sure that they'll be of some use, some assistance. Here, first take this. A flame from the Great Swamp. Now you're a fully fledged pyromancer. Why, let's get started right now.
So yeah, with that incredibly simple step, we are now a fully fledged pyromancer. That seemed relatively easy.
Pyromancy is the art of casting fire. Produce flame, then channel it, just as our ancestors did. A pyromancer must be in tune with nature herself. My home, the Great Swamp, is an abundant store of nature. You will understand one day. It only takes time.
Now, we won't be using pyromancy in this playthrough, but the cool thing about pyromancy is how easy it is to level up, since you don't need to actually bother with...
Goodbye then. Be safe, friend. Don't you dare go hollow.
Things like boosting your stats or anything like that. It doesn't scale with anything, so basically it just scales with the hand. And, okay. I'm sure this means nothing at all. Continuing on then. Anyhow, I was saying pyromancy only scales with the pyromancy flame, which just takes souls to level up, so pretty much anybody can be a pyromancer if they want to. We're probably going to be passing on it, simply because it's what I did in my last build, and I'm not interested in doing it again. Now you guys will recognize this shortcut that we're going to be taking as the same shortcut that we took in the first episode of Uther's adventures in Lordran, but we're going to be taking just a slightly different path. Now we are going to Blighttown. I'm not skipping that whole level. We do need to do it, but basically because Blighttown sucks and I hate it and it's horrible, and I know a way to get around a lot of it, we're gonna skip a big portion of it. So let me just fast forward until we get there. you'll recognize that we're back in the Valley of the Drakes, where we went and got our... Whoa. Playing with fire there. Anyway, that's where we went and got our Astora Straightsword, but instead of heading into the valley itself, we're actually gonna... And I'm noticing that I've left an item over there. Anyhow, instead of venturing into the valley itself, we're gonna head into this cave that I sort of ignored on my first visit, because that leads into Blighttown. Now, of course, this particular shortcut requires the Master Key. You can either start your game with it as a gift, or you can pick it up from Dominal in the depths. Either way, highly recommend it, as it's a great way to bypass one of the more annoying parts of the game. Blighttown is characterized by this incredibly bleak color scheme and super green kind of stuff that's going on, and just giant plague-bound monstrosities like this guy. The Barbarian is pretty much your classic brute-style monster. He hits really hard. He has a really obvious lead-up to several attacks. And he actually has that kind of roaring attack that actually is a really good opportunity to get in there and just get stabby. And you may have noticed that when he hits me, he actually poisons me, and that's pretty much the standard go-to for every monster in Blighttown. And as you can see, he inflicts a lot of poison when he hits you. But you can also no doubt see how effective our weapon and stat upgrades have been. We're already hitting quite a bit harder, and I'm feeling a lot better about it. Of course, slinging some lightning spears never hurt anybody. Except the guy that's getting slung at, I guess. Anyway, with those guys taken care of, we're actually allowed to enter Blighttown proper. And as you can see, this is basically a really long descent downward. And if you come at it from the other direction, you're basically going down several platforms, small ladders. There's collapsing floors and rickety bridges, and it's pretty bad. This direction allows you to bypass a lot of that and instead take an elevator down. But that does not mean it is not dangerous. There's certainly still plenty of ways for you to get stabinated. This key actually opens that door into the new Londo Ruins that we use as the shortcut to the Valley of the Drakes and this area. So that's normally you'd have to actually climb up here to grab that key, and then you could open that door. Now it's actually a pretty quick descent downward. There's not a lot to it, so we'll just make our way down and fight some of the interesting denizens along our way. Like this guy, the Crag Spider. I'm not really sure what the name implies. They're these weird sort of spider monsters. They breathe fire, and they make a really creepy roar when they die. And of course there's the elusive no-clipping mosquitoes, who are they're huge dicks. So if you're dealing with mosquitoes, be quick, take care of them quickly, because they actually have really surprisingly strong attacks when it comes to trying to block them with your shield. They can stagger you really quickly. And of course they poison. As you can see, we're already making really good progress down. And, it's not too far to the bottom. The lovely swamp that awaits us. And I'm just... oh my god, these guys are such assholes. That's a blow dart sniper. They are really weak, but they have an extremely long range, and they have an attack that will toxic you pretty much instantly if you don't have any poison resistance. The only upside to blow dart snipers is that they will actually not respawn once you kill them. So once you take care of them, they're gone for good. As you can see though, Toxin is just horrible. It drains your health really quickly, it lasts a very long time, and you really don't want to be afflicted with it. The Spider Shield, as I mentioned in the previous video, has a strong resistance to poison, so we're going to be equipping that to help alleviate a lot of the poisons going on down here. So here you can see there's actually 2 more of those snipers, and my shield just absorbs the blow and I don't get any poison buildup, which is fantastic. And take care of this other crag spider. And then basically we just have to make a little hop and we are on our way down. Yeah, just because the game gives you an elevator doesn't mean it's going to be safe. I'm kind of showing off that there's a couple side areas in this descent, including some more blow-dart snipers trying to get you from that sort of side area. And initially I was actually thinking about kind of ignoring it and just heading down, but then I realized there wouldn't be a whole lot of video if I skipped everything, so let's go exploring. I may soon come to regret this, but anyway, let's exploring. Adventure! This little side area is actually, in my opinion, one of the more dangerous parts of the whole level, mainly because of all of the blow-dart snipers, and just one wrong move and you're toxic. And as you saw, I only brought 2 purple blooming moss with me, which is the only way to cure it, and they drop purple moss clump, which cures poison, but not toxic. So now we are out of toxin healing, so let's hope for the best. Well, fuck. Alright then, we're gonna heal through it. It's satisfying killing these little bastards, but at the same time, I kinda already know I'm screwed. I'm like desperately looking, isn't there anything that can cure toxin? And I don't have anything, so... well, we'll just carry on. So you'll notice that there actually were 2 up here, and one of them seems to have fallen down, so we're gonna have to go down there to take care of it. And what makes this area even more fun are these tiny little unassuming dog-looking creatures. They seem relatively, you know, small, therefore harmless, right? I mean, right? Man, this is so bad. See, these little dogs are really quick, they do quite a lot of damage, and they also have a very nasty fire-breathing attack. Yeah, that's the one. Now, then all we need to do is take care of this one last blow-dart sniper, and I think we're home free. But of course, he's got friends. Blighttown. And of course, I forwarded us all the way back from Firelink Shrine, but let's get back to where we were. And on the plus side, we only have the one dude to deal with. But on the negative side, we have no way of curing Toxin, so if he gets us with Toxic again, we're in as much trouble. So we're actually going to switch over to the Thief set again, because it has a pretty respectable poison resist, especially when compared to our Elite Knight set. And I'm hoping that'll help help in case he does get us with one Toxic Bolt. Hopefully it won't be instant. And that's actually pretty good. I'm happy that he's down there, and I don't have to deal with him while I'm running around up here. I just can focus on the dogs and then focus on taking care of that guy. So yeah, it is important to note that poison resistance does also affect Toxic. It's not a separate resistance for those two maladies. So when you come down here, make sure to equip your poison resist gear. Ah, and it's a good thing we hopped that stuff on, because he actually did hit us with a Toxic Bolt, but our poison resist is high enough that he didn't instantly toxic lobsters. And that was perfectly timed to make it interesting, but not necessarily look good. Oh, we just got a couple more of these dogs to take care of, and then we can see what was down here, what we did all that work for. And I mean, while this lovely view is definitely worth it, I'm hoping there's something else. And there is more dogs. Everybody loves dags. And little known fact, dags love lightning spear. Now the real treasure is awesome. That's right, another Firekeeper soul, which means we can actually upgrade our Estus Flask to +2, making it even more effective when we heal. Definitely worth the very dangerous trip down here to pick up. It's worth noting that the other side of Blighttown does have a few interesting or important items that you can pick up. Nothing quite as powerful as a Firekeeper soul. But there are some good weapons, as well as a very useful pyromancy over there. So it is worth exploring on that side if you need those items. I just recommend coming back when you're high enough level to just kind of skate through it, because it's so frustrating. Or it can be, I guess. Anyway, with this crag spider taken care of, we'll just move him over there, and then we're going to go take on this this incredibly dangerous obstacle, the Root Bridge. I've actually had some issues with the return trip on this Root Bridge, and you'll actually see why on our way back. Spoilers. You can actually see over there on the other side some of the final parts of the descent, or the main descent into Blighttown. And of course a sorcery that would help us with all these issues, but we don't know how to do sorcery. And the best light armor set in the game, the Crimson set. This set is very light, it looks pretty cool, and it has incredibly high resistances to all of the maladies. It is exceptionally good. We'll be using it from time to time when needed for specific resistances. And I'm not sure what the amazing trap here is, other than just the fact that you kind of want to walk off that ledge. Anyway, be careful on your return trip across this route. You can get caught on these boards like that, and I've actually fallen off and died because of that. And then you gotta go back and get your souls and survive the return trip. Super fun. Then all we gotta do now is just hop on this incredibly safe-looking... I mean, elevator seems like a stretch, but that's pretty much what it is. And then we can get into Blighttown proper. So it's pretty cool. Blighttown's basically at the roots of the foundation of this whole area. You can actually kind of look down and not necessarily see parts of Blighttown from Firelink Shrine, but you can see those big spans that are the big stone spans that are grounded in this area. It's pretty cool, the continuity in this game. And I just, you know what, fuck the ramp. Alright, so now we're in the swamp proper. Now our actual destination is that kind of greenish looking hole inside that ominous mound of spikes over there, but if we just head in there, there's not a whole lot of episode to it, so let's go exploring the swamp, because there's lots of goodies hidden around here. Now the keen eye amongst you would have noticed that the swamp is actually, when I was walking through the swamp there, I actually got some poison. Yes, that's right, walking through the swamp will poison you. It is fantastic, because it also slows you. So, you're pretty much guaranteed to be running around with poison down here. Luckily it's just poison and not toxic, and we have lots of poison healing items, but it's still a gigantic pain in the ass. Well, let's head up this cavern here, or this, I guess it's more of a construct. It's like a sewer tube or something. And this room just always gives me the heebie-jeebies, because it's just this big open room with a treasure chest at the end, and no matter how many times I play through this area, I just feel like something horrible is going to happen in here. Now, the dragon scale is a crafting item. It is used specifically for upgrading the dragon weapons in the game, such as the Drake sword that you could get early on in the game, or the dragon's tooth, which is Havel's gigantic mace that we saw. Dragon scales are relatively rare, so hold on to them if you find them. What's really neat is the bottom part of that tower, for lack of a better word, is actually the bottom of the tower that we saw at the beginning of the episode. It's the entrance was at the top there, and then as you descend, you'll be moving through that tower. So that's actually the bottom. Kind of neat. Yeah, so the bottom of Blighttown is basically stuffed brimming with mosquitoes and crag spiders. And one of the more annoying things about this particular area is that as you kill mosquitoes, more of them spawn. It's not an infinite spawn, although it might seem like it. There's maybe 7 or something in this particular spawning area that we're going to be dealing with. But it's really annoying because if you don't take care of them, they will just hunt you down and annoy you when you're trying to fight something else. Best case here is to just take it easy and take care of them as they come. Yep. Killing mosquitoes. At this point, as I see that one spawn, I'm like, wait, it's not infinite, right? It's not. There are a finite number. It's just more than you'd like. Alright, well, with those guys taken care of, that's actually a major pain for this particular area taken care of, and we can freely explore, as these crag spiders are not at all a threat. So yeah, there's another good view of the kind of the way that we came down, as well as the destination. But before we head that way, we're going to skirt basically around the whole swamp, picking up goodies along the way. Hidden back here in the totally you're going to get poisoned spot is the Pyromancy Poison Mist, as well as the Pyromancy starting equipment. So if you start the game as a Pyromancer, that's the equipment that you'll be starting with. We also got Poison Mist, which is a really cool Pyromancy spell that you can actually cheese a little. It actually goes through doorways. So for example, if you remember Havel, before we fought him when the door was closed, you can actually see him through there. One way to take care of him is simply to Poison Mist him until he's dead. It's not really exploiting in Dark Souls, it's just maneuvering the mechanics in your favor. Then armed to the teeth with purple moss clumps, we will continue to explore, and I'll cure poison several times throughout all this, but I'm not really sure why, other than just it's annoying. The sound it makes really bothers me. Never mind the constant HP drain. So yeah, there's a second mosquito spawning point over here, and this is when I learned the glory of the crossbow. And the crossbow will one-hit kill these guys, so that makes me really happy. I only have a few bolts, but I think I'm going to be picking up more because I learned that having that emergency ranged weapon was actually very handy. It's got just a great range for that kind of stuff. Now the difference between crossbows and bows, if you're wondering, crossbows require much less dexterity to use effectively, and they don't scale as much with it, but they also have a much shorter range, and they cannot be manually aimed. You have to be aiming at something, whereas bows you can actually go into sort of a first-person aiming mode. So we're actually already to the far end of Blighttown, where we're going to be dealing with some leeches and getting backstabbed by mosquitoes, because, you know, fucking Dark Souls. Oh. Now at this point I'm actually really excited to kill all the leeches in this area because they have a low chance of dropping an item that will be really handy for us in the near future. So I'm really hoping we can pick up a couple of those for the next video. Leeches are really not at all threatening. They're pretty weak, they don't take a lot of damage, and they can't really hit all that hard. They can poison you, but at this point you're already used to it, so whatevs. And we will be exploring that route, that flat route that we were walking on a second ago, but for now we're just going to kind of clear out the rest of this area. I'm not really in the best position to be farming, but there are a few items over here as well, so more over here to make sure we pick everything up, but also hoping that a couple of these guys drop their goodies. Alright, then we'll just pull this last group of 3 here and pick up that item, and then we'll be good to go. The server is actually a 2-handed curved sword that has a powerful bleeding effect tied to it, so that's pretty cool. Ah, green Titanite shards, X5. These guys drop 5 green Titanite shards, which is awesome. 5 shards will get you most of the way towards level 3 or so of the magic or fire or divine upgrade paths, and that is super awesome because we're going to be doing that shortly. Seriously, these guys are the way to go if you need green Titanite shards. And, oh my gosh, another set dropped over here. I'm just so thrilled at this point that I just... Yep. Alright then, before we keep exploring the swamp here, we're going to see where this big root goes. Ah, the plank shield, you know, for when you want to wear a couple boards. Well, this seems nice, a little quaint little area with a illusionary wall leading to another treasure. Sweetness. But you know, I'm not satisfied. I feel like there's even more. The Great Hollow is effectively a secret area, although it's not extremely difficult to find, especially with the various signs on the ground. Now, we're not going to be exploring the Great Hollow at this point, but I did want to just come over here and kind of show you what it's all about and pick up the bonfire. Yep, it's basically just a big fucking tree. And it is super fun to jump down, or to walk down there, I should say, as you explore this area. It's filled with basilisks and all kinds of fun stuff. Definitely worth exploring, and we will certainly be coming back at a later point. And another green Titanite shard just for good measure. Alright then, let's work our way back around this sort of outer wall and head back to the bonfire. Now this collapsed area here is actually where you would enter Blighttown normally had you come down the natural path, I guess I should say. The path that most new players will assume is the correct way to get down here. It's as fun as it looks. And honestly, you get poisoned so much down here, it's just... what is going on? Man, somebody's just really dying to meet me. Anyhow, there is actually an item that will help you a lot down here. There's a ring that allows you to move at normal speed in waist-deep water. And because I'm just so pro, I decided not to worry about it. Now we're actually going to be doing something that I haven't done yet in the game. We're going to be going human. So when you go human, you basically offer your humanity. You lose 1 in the top left corner, as you saw, And you notice that the number is now black with a white bright background. It's a little more obvious. We're also going to kindle the bonfire, which among other things basically means that we now get 10 Estus flasks when we rest at it instead of 5. You also notice that we could now summon other players because we're human, which is pretty rad. But there's actually a really good reason why I wanted to do this, and you'll see shortly. So this is one of those Dark Souls moments where you're in your menu like an idiot, and yeah, the game doesn't pause. I'm trying to get my Elite Knight armor on now that we're done kind of dealing with the, and you'll see that I've been invaded. Dark Spirit Man-Eater Mildred. And this is actually why we wanted to go human. You cannot be invaded unless you're human, and this is actually an NPC invasion. So this is not another player, this is actually an NPC phantom who will always invade you at this spot if you are human. And there's Force in action. That's pretty cool. Mildred is pretty dangerous. She's got her big old butcher sword and a plank shield, but a couple of lightning spears and she's no longer a real threat. Now, when she is vanquished, you actually you get a couple rewards. So you get some humanity because she got kicked out, and she also drops some humanity and her butcher knife. There's yet another reason why I wanted to do that, but we'll get there when we get there. Bringing this crag spider with me because, I don't know why. Because ragdoll physics. Now you've no doubt noticed that area across there that I've mentioned is where we're going. And you may have also noticed the large-looking dudes with gigantic effing boulders in their hands. Those guys are assholes, and we do not want to deal with them. So what I'm actually going to show you is a way to sneak past them without having to ever deal with them. This is a really easy way to get into that big mound over there without having to bother with some pretty nasty monsters. Simply come over to this span, as you can see that I've already done, and then you just run straight across to the other side. Kind of hug this this wall here. You can see there's a couple over there. That's what I'm showing. They also could aggro, so you want to run directly across. Do not cut into that cave there. You basically just want to run across this swampy part here and head up the hill. And you've managed to make it here without having to deal with those guys. They're giants. They wield big boulders. They're total assholes. And you know what? You don't want to deal with them. And they do respawn. And of course, my favorite trope in all RPGs is gigantic web-covered holes covered in cocoons and egg sacs and general spidery things. So I'm just... First time I played this area, I was just so not excited at all. And these guys won't attack you, even though they are monsters. And I just always feel so depressed when I see that they're just sitting there basically praying. It looks like they're begging for you to put them out of their misery, because they're basically just egg-bearing humanoid things. And it's just ugh. Anyhow, here you'll see there's a summon sign right outside the boss gate, and lo and behold, we can summon Man-Eater Mildred. Now, she only invades once, and if she kills you, she never comes back. But if you manage to kill her, then you can actually summon her to fight the boss with you. She's pretty awesome. She's kind of tanky, and she does a decent amount of damage. But the best thing about her is that she just sort of distracts the boss while you do things to them. Yeah, I got nothing. Okay, switch. Qualag or Kalag is your spider-themed flamey boss of Dark Souls, and she's a good time. She's a little bit of a pain in the ass. Lots of fire-based attacks and quite a few AOE's, made much easier by summoning and utilizing Manager Mildred. And again, it's not exploiting, especially in this case because it's actually built into the game. If you don't want to deal with facing the boss head on, just bring in Mildred and she'll help you out. Now, a few things about Chaos Witch Kalog. She, as you've no doubt seen, has several AoE attacks, including that one, which is an AoE all around her. And she has a WoW boss style pools of lava mechanic, where she'll basically create giant pools of lava that stay on the ground for a long time, and you do not want to stand in them because they'll mess your shit up, and it's not good. So as I mentioned, Mildred doesn't really do a particularly large amount of damage. She's not particularly dangerous. She's not really all that useful offensively. What she does is just distract the boss so that you can just stand back, hit him with your best shots, and then take him out. So if you're having a little bit of trouble with Kalog, go ahead and summon Maneater Mildred and she'll make your life a lot easier. Now you'll also notice that we picked up a soul of Kalog. That's our first boss soul that we've gotten in the game. Boss souls are particularly valuable in that they could be consumed for a large number of souls, or they can be used to create special unique weapons in the game. So we're going to do just a little bit more exploring before I call it an end of the video. I like to always end on a boss fight, but we just got a nice transition here into the next area, so let's go exploring just a little bit more. And, of course, the second Bell of Awakening. Well, it looks like that's where we'll be going next. I just want to explore a little bit further and show off this amazing vista, looking over into the Demon Ruins, which is actually one of my favorite areas in the game from a visual perspective. It's actually really fun to explore too, but anyhow, we'll head down these stairs. And this wall just seems odd to me, as it's yet another illusionary wall.
Oh dear, what have we here? Are you a new servant? But you have no eggs. Ah, no matter. Go along and have audience with our fair lady. I pray that you will mind your manners.
Yeah, sure. Now, Dark Souls is a lot of things as far as gaming design is concerned, and one of the things that it does really well, in my opinion, is creating really unique set pieces. And this is easily... I think this is probably my favorite in the entire game. Just from the visuals, the music, the overall mood. This area is just really amazing to me. So we've met this new Firekeeper, who appears to be another spider lady. She has no dialogue. She has a covenant that you can join, actually. And she's apparently called the Fair Lady by her egg sac bearing friend over there.
Are you prepared to dedicate yourself to our fair lady? Then I will make available whatever you require. If you need something, ask me first.
This guy sells a couple items. Basically, he sells the servant roster, which lets you look at other servants of the Daughters of Chaos, which is the covenant that you join. And then he allows you to upgrade your pyromancy flame, which basically just increases the mag adjust for various pyromancy spells.
There is no time for idle chat. Think only of our fair lady and what she may need.
See, I just want to take a moment to kind of take in the scene here of this clearly nearly dying spider lady. There's some really neat lore behind this as well, and it's just really cool. Well, guys, I think we can go ahead and call that an episode. Today we've explored the excitement of Blighttown in the least annoying way possible. We've taken out the evil Chaos Witch, Kalog, and we've rung the second Bell of Awakening, so we'll see what that leads to. Till next time, friends, thanks for watching. See you next time on Let's Play Dark Souls.